Hello and welcome to Swarajya Standard. We are broadcasting to you now via the internet, as we do several times a week, every week. And you, the gracious viewer, gives us your patient hearing via the internet. And this is true for most interactions in our daily lives, isn't it? So much of it happens over the internet. Now, for a business, that opens up an opportunity. And if you're talking about a country like India, with its huge population, you're talking a very big market. And the numbers attest to that. This year, you and I are among some 600 million active internet users in the country. Only 4 years ago, that count was about less than half the number. So that's the kind of growth we're talking about. We're now only the second biggest digital market after our most populous neighbor, China. And like we were saying before, for a business, that's a great thing to tap into. And one business has and is digging its heels into it, Reliance. Reliance Jio happened to launch 3 years ago to this day. And one can easily say that their rise has been concurrent with the rise of internet users in the country. Because that huge increase over 4 years we were referring to earlier of about 300 plus million subscribers? Over a large section of that period, Jio's subscriber count has grown to 340 million, right? 3 years ago, when Reliance came up with its telecom operations, it had a few components it was going after in its bid for digital disruption. What were they? Internet of Things or IoT, home broadband, enterprise broadband, and broadband for small and medium businesses. This is the Jio ecosystem, or at least of what we are introduced to. So what was the plan, or what is the company hoping to achieve with each of these components? Let's look at them. First, there is the IoT. Reliance has developed a new service on its existing 4G network called NB-IoT, or the Narrowband Internet of Things. What this serves to do is enable collection of data from IoT compatible devices across India. Starting from 1st January 2020, the company aims to connect over 1 billion devices on its IoT network. As we saw initially with the smartphones and now the smart wearables, the market for smart devices is huge, especially in India. So for manufacturers already invested in the IoT technologies, the Reliance move is a welcome move. What the government must do, however, in this scenario is press hard for data localization. That will be critical to the rise of an industry driven by services in the realm of data intelligence, analytics, and artificial intelligence. Now, second is the Jio GigaFiber, which is set for rollout today, 5th September. This service will possibly ensure almost every member of nearly every household in India has access to the internet. The company has already invested nearly rupees 3.5 lakh crore in building the required infrastructure across India just to make this work. Now, what makes Jio GigaFiber a broadband disruption is not, as one would think, its low cost or high speed offerings, but the bundle that comes along. There's a landline phone connection, a digital set-top box that promises high definition entertainment, virtual reality content, option for multi-party video conferencing, which is important, voice-enabled virtual assistants, interactive gaming, home security, and so many other smart home solutions. The plan comes with bundled subscriptions to over-the-top or OTT platforms. The numbers that Hotstar was able to achieve with its streaming plans for peripheral devices would in all likelihood be dwarfed in the near future. And the rise of OTT will be a good thing since it will provide a boost for regional cinema. Also, Jio's unprecedented first day, first show service could maybe even spell the end of alienation of small production houses and artists from mainstream cinema. Now, wouldn't that be a good thing in a space where the mainstream largely churns out the same thing over and over and over again? Importantly, this will open up employment opportunities in the country, across industries, anywhere from production to advertising. This could well be the decade when regressive TV serial content becomes obsolete as the need to cater to a changing country's needs finds better and more diversified platforms. And lastly, broadband plans and enterprise solutions for small, medium, and large enterprises would go a long way in cutting down infrastructure costs. For India to have lower unemployment levels, it will be essential for jobs to be created outside what we call the conventional industries, and the Jio ecosystem may actually aid in that. Quantifying the value offering of the Jio ecosystem based on its revenues alone in the next 10 years would be a mistake, for its real value would have to be gauged by the industries it impacts and transforms, even when that change may not always be apparent and visible. One would be well advised then to perhaps look beyond its $10 costing to the $1 trillion disruption it just might usher in the 2020s. If you like this video or any other video that we put out on our YouTube channel, and if you like what we put out on our website www.swarajyamag.com, please subscribe to the magazine, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support will keep us going.